Thank you again for joining us today in our Living with Wildfire mini-series. I am here today with Deborah Harris of the North Coast Unified Air Quality Management District. And we're here today to talk about the wildfire season and air quality. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. Okay, now we're going to go into discussing wildfire season and air quality. Everybody that lives in our jurisdiction, Humboldt, Del Norte, Trinity County, we see wildfire smoke every year. Some years are worse than others for different counties, but this last fire season, the Million Acre wildfire to the south, everybody got affected. So we've got a lot of information out there and I look forward to sharing it with you. Next slide. So wildfire and air quality, what you need to know, mainly to protect yourself and get ready. We're going to discuss how air quality is measured. This gives you some idea of how the district gets their information, what types of monitors and sensors we use, how to access that air quality information and what you should know, and then where you can get the air quality information. Next slide, please. So air quality monitoring, you can see by the pictures on the screen, these are the different types of monitors. If you'll see in the upper left-hand corner, that is a stationary monitoring site. That monitors for criteria pollutants and toxics and particulate matter. That is a stationary site near a school in Eureka. And we have, there are criteria pollutants that have attainment levels set by the state and the EPA. And we have to monitor those and we have to make sure we are attainment of those levels. So this is the station we have in Eureka that does this. And then we have the bottom left-hand corner. This is a stationary particulate monitor that monitors for particulate only. And particulate comes in many sizes, but the monitoring levels are PM 2.5 and PM 10 microns in size. And that also helps us find out where we are for attainment of the state and federal standards. In the middle, you'll see a portable monitor. These are the monitors we deploy for wildfire season and for prescribed burning. This one is on the side of a school on the roof, and you can see that it has to have a power source and that communicates via satellite. On the right-hand side is new technology that's just been developed in the last few years. It's a purple air sensor. This is a particulate monitor sensor only, and these are small sensors that can be located by people, individuals, districts, um, agencies. Anybody can buy these and site them. The district has cited these along with the particulate monitors, the stationary monitors, and in some cases a portable monitor. That way we can compare the information and kind of evaluate how it compares. You can see they're small units and they need an access to internet and a power source. Next slide, please. So air monitors, as we discussed in the previous slide, are permanent or temporary. They are calibrated and maintained by the district to ensure that the information provided is the most accurate possible. So as I said, these monitors transmit the data that they collect via internet or satellite and provides hourly readings. And those readings are used in calibrating and forecasting air quality. The average price of this equipment is $15,000 to $25,000 or more. There are add-ons such as solar power, different kinds of things. There are siting requirements for these monitors. You don't have them next to a combustion source because it'll skew your reading. And we are already indicated how the data is transmitted to the district from these monitors, and we use it to calculate the air quality index. So the air quality index levels are established by the EPA, and they're as follows: good, moderate, unhealthy for sensitive groups, unhealthy, and hazardous. The majority of the readings we see are good to moderate with potentials for unhealthy for sensitive groups most of the year. Very seldom outside of wildfire season do we see levels raising to unhealthy for sensitive groups because of the sources of smoke outside of fire season, wildfire season. Next slide, please. Now sensors, those are the small little canisters you saw on the picture page. They are easily installed, moderately priced, about $200. And they provide particulate level information via the internet. So they're a good indicator of smoke intrusion, but they're not used to establish air quality and forecast levels. So there's two ways to access the information from these purple air sensors. The best one is fire.airnow.gov. This information takes information from monitors as well as purple air sensors, and those monitors could be permanent sites or stationary sites and temporary deployed sites by the district, as well as purple air sensors. The purple air sensors that are on the fire.airnow.gov site basically are those that aren't located indoors, and they are approved by the person that owns it to be able to share with the internet. So the fire.airnow.gov sees the information that was provided by the purple air, and the purple air information is affected by humidity, temperature, location, how long it's been there, and lots of other issues. So they created a wash to kind of calibrate the purple air information to more align with the actual monitoring information. And so the fire.airnow.gov takes all those things into account, and the information for the purple air on the fireairnow.gov site is pretty reliable. If you look at the purple air site, that information is exactly what it's reading. They are now, from what I understand, addressing the need for a washing of the data to kind of help make it more current and accurate. So they have different ways of looking at it, the actual data that's coming in, and then kind of calibrated, and then the wash that the EPA put together. So the purple air is transmitted via the internet, and it is not transmitted via satellite, because satellite transmission is very expensive. Next slide. So here's that air quality index information. This is something we send out to the public, to the schools every year, and to the public health officials, OES, and anyone that calls up the district wanting information about health effects and what they need to know about wildfire smoke. So this chart is color coded, and it coincides with the good, moderate, unhealthy for sensitive groups, unhealthy, very unhealthy to hazardous. And you'll see the activities, and they kind of equate it with recess, PE, and scheduled sporting events. We take this air quality monitoring information and we forecast using NOAA information that we liaison with NOAA, which is the Weather Service, National Weather Service, and our experience with terrain and smoke impacts, as well as information provided by air resource advisors that get deployed to federal and sometimes CAL FIRE wildfires. And we make our forecasts for areas we feel that will be impacted by smoke. So those forecasts are generally made based on monitoring data and staff experience to coincide with these levels on this chart. So a PSA will be issued for good to moderate with potential for periods of unhealthy for sensitive groups. An advisory will be issued for unhealthy for sensitive groups with periods of unhealthy. an alert will be issued if the air quality is expected to be very unhealthy to hazardous. And you can see the different levels and visibility to kind of help you use this chart for your use at your residence or in your environment. And so at the bottom, we also discuss asthma action plans, how to estimate air quality based on visibility. If you don't have access to the internet, if you don't have access to um, television sources, radio sources, and a lot of you live out in the rural areas that sometimes you don't have access to these, the visibility estimate information down here can help you make a quick determination. It won't be exacting, but it will help you to determine what you think it is at your location and look on the chart and determine what you need to do and what action you need to take. Next slide, please. So we kind of discussed a little bit about the public service announcements, advisories, and alerts. So the district has a wildfire program group in-house, and we deal with wildfire every year, and we coordinate our announcements, advisories, and alerts with the tribes, the county public health officers, Office of Emergency Services, and the State Air Resources Board, who we also request deployment of equipment to sites when we exhaust what we have on hand. So we get that information and we combine it all with information from sensors and forecasts, and we put it all together and we make our determination. We try to get our information out to the public by 10 a.m. the morning of. And then we receive calls from schools and everyone else. Is it safe for me to travel? What do you think the air quality is going to be in this area? We provide information like that. So these are very helpful, and I would access and use this information because it is the most current that we have based on actual data that we can get from our monitors that are in site. There are other information sites online. The fire.airnow.gov is one we use also, and our information is in that, and it is pretty current. There are other sources that have information. They may be referencing other monitors in other areas because they don't see the information on fire.airnow.gov, and so their information is only as good as what their source is. So if you see something and it contradicts what we have, give us a call. We'll let you know why, what is actually correct and what you should rely on. Next slide. So information and resources to prepare for wildfire. I can't stress this enough. It's important that you think about this now before it impacts you, because things are not the same as they used to be. COVID restrictions have removed the regular options you have to deal with smoke at your locations. Clean air shelters aren't an option because of the gathering place requirements. Travel is not also required or recommended depending on your conditions. Think about this now, so then when it happens, you've made your decisions and you know what you're going to do. Use the district information that we put out. You can always contact us to get on the email list to obtain these as soon as they come out. And they will help you to manage what you plan to do on your daily activities and how you want to deal with the health effects that you're experiencing. Access that fire.airnow.gov site or our district site, which has links to all kinds of information about smoke levels. As I said, contact the district if you have any questions. We receive questions from people who live out of the area that are going to be vacationing in the Trinity Alps, and they want to know if it's okay to backpack in September, and they're calling in July. We do our best, and we provide what information we have. but we're a resource here for you, so you have that option. So I really encourage you to use it. Next slide. So here's some of the examples of the information we have on our website, and we continually update our website to include all kinds of things. The EPA respirator, this is good information also for COVID because it explains the N95 masks and how you wear it. It's important that you wear it as it's shown here on the mask because it will not filter smoke if you don't put it over your nose, don't have a seal, don't follow the directions. The other one we also have used for a long time is protecting your family from wildfire smoke. It goes over different things. This is going to be updated soon with new COVID information, and new things are developing all the time. The wildfires are getting so big and the impacts are being felt in larger cities. And so the need for it growing the information that we've had up here and dealt with for a long time because of our location and the relative wildfires we have on a steady basis that impact us. We're kind of ready for it, but those folks in the big cities, they don't usually get it. So there's a lot of improvement happening and there's a lot of information out there and it'll only get better. Next slide, please. So as I said, if you have any questions about air quality, say you've seen something on the news out of Shasta, Redding area, and they say that you're going to get smoke impacts, or, you know, this is what the air quality is, and you see the district information and it's different, call us. We'll explain, and we may even contact that weather person and say, hi, did you know about this location for information as far as air quality? And we're always looking to educate because we want you to be safe during wildfire. We want you to have the information on hand so you know what you can do. And we're a resource here for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deb, for joining us today. And thank you, watchers, for joining us in our Living with Wildfire mini-series. We appreciate your attendance. Keep checking back through the month of March to receive great information from many of the Trinity County Fire Safe Council partners. Have a great afternoon.